Most people use ChatGPT like Google. They search a question, they find an answer, and they close the window. But this is not actually how you use ChatGPT. If you focus on asking more advanced questions, using better search queries, it's going to stop feeling like a chatbot and start feeling a lot more like a personal assistant, a researcher, and somebody who's going to help you be way more productive. So by watching this video, my goal is literally just to show you a few basic tips, something that you can do in a few minutes and literally start making ChatGPT work for you. And the first tip I have for you guys is literally going to save you so many hours. Okay, so the first tip is you have to fix your preferences. Almost literally nobody does this. All of my friends, everyone I've talked to. Now, why is this important? It's something that ChatGPT is going to remember. So if you say something like, always respond in bullet points, in the future, like if that's how you're going to use ChatGPT, you can literally always have it respond in bullet points. If you say, I want you to be short and precise with your answers instead of being super conversational and giving me like a, hey, how are you? Let's get started. Like, give me just the facts. You can set it up that way, or vice versa. And then instead of having to always type it in manually, it'll just automatically save so that you can just do that forever. So let's switch over to the computer and let me show you exactly how to set this up. Okay, so now we're over here on the computer. All you're going to want to do is click on the bottom left side. You're going to open this up, go to personalization here, and then you have a ton of different things that you can set up. So for example, you can have it be more warm, regular, or less warm, right? So, and again, it just tells you more professional. Same thing here on how it's going to give you the tone and style, right? So you can kind of go through, you know, how you want it. So for me, I think efficient and just being kind of exactly what I need and not giving me anything else is going to be the more effective way for me. And then custom instructions. When answering my questions, evaluate my assumptions or statements critically. If something seems incorrect or unproven, challenge it. So the reason that I have it set up that way is because if I say something, ChatGPT is pretty agreeable and will kind of just go with bad information. And I don't want that. I want it to be challenging me. If I give it like an idea on like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What seems good or bad about it? Instead of just being like, that seems like a wonderful idea. You should definitely do it. And there was no issues. It'll kind of be like, these are some of the good things. These are some of the bad things. And then you can actually start to brainstorm and really figure out what you want. Tip number 2 is use voice mode. Now, voice mode is an absolute cheat code. So if you guys ever brainstorm with like I do, which is usually I'll call like a family member or a friend and like I'll kind of be talking to them about like an idea I have. Chat GPT kind of takes this to the next level. So there, I'm sure you're familiar, but maybe you're not. There is a voice mode on Chat GPT, and I'll usually download the app on my phone. What I like to do with voice mode is I like to brainstorm ideas. So for example, if I'm driving in the car and I'm like, you know, I need to figure out this meeting that I'm having at work, instead of just like not doing anything on my longer commute, which is about 30 minutes home, what I'll do is I'll actually just open up Chat GPT and start having a conversation like, hey chat, I need to have this meeting at work and I need to talk to my boss about this blank thing. Can you give me some ideas on how I can format it better? And then at the very end, the best part of it is, you know how you have a long conversation and you're like, wow, I feel like I got a lot of value out of there. But then you end up being like, I don't remember everything we talked about, or now I need to like figure out how to write it down. Instead, you can just tell chat, hey, everything we talked about summarized into bullet points or summarized into a to-do list, and then give that to me in an easy copy and paste way so that I can take that format. And I usually use Google Docs, right? Because again, it works on the computer, it works on your phone. You can kind of just sync them up manually. So then I can take that action plan and literally be able to put it in there and use that for in the future. So So that's kind of the nice part about voice mode. Use project folders. Now, why do I say this? Because if you are using project folders, if you have, like, for example, a big project at work, or you're working on, for example, a YouTube video, or you're coming up with ideas to start a new business, instead of just using ChatGPT every time, you can actually put it into project folders. And the reason that this is so good is because if you have a conversation with it and you get a couple of big major pillars set up for either your new business or your new video or whatever you're using, it will actually save context. So in a few days, when you come back, everything that you had previously talked about is already set up in that folder and will start pulling with that new information rather than starting new in like a new section every time. So the way we do this is we can come over here, and then this is just an example I've used for this last video. I usually just do this for videos specifically for me, but you can come in here and you can basically have it like help you with like the scripts. So for every YouTube video, it will have scripts, and then for example, you can just go through here and make adjustments as you need, and then just kind of keep building on it, write in some new things, and then just go back and forth, and it will just save all of the information you could possibly need. All right, guys, clearly you guys are enjoying the content and you want to see more videos like this and you want to get ahead of the curve and build that AI understanding. Subscribe to the channel right now and like the video, as it always helps out. You can also leave me a comment. Let me know other types of things you've struggled with or other AI platforms you want to see. Put them down in the comments and I'm happy to look them over. Using deep research. So what is deep research on chat? Basically what it does is, instead of giving like the response that it automatically like kind of knows in its system, if you will, deep research forces chat to actually go into like the web and search your topic. So this is really good for YouTube videos, as you can actually start to look at real data and be able to implement it into your research. So while you're understanding a product, ChatGPT can also do some research for you and allow you to get really well-rounded data points that you can then use to actually make a more knowledgeable script. Again, this is also good for like things like travel plans. So if you're trying to plan a trip, this is something I did. I just went to Jamaica and I used ChatGPT to basically find the resort I was going to stay at, help me like research islands in the Caribbean to figure out where I wanted to stay. And it actually uses the web, like compare prices, compare flights, things like that. And you can set that up in a project folder so that as you're doing research, you can get set up nicely. So how do you use deep research? Once you're at the homepage, all you're going to want to do is you can click on this little plus sign here, deep research, and then now it's going to give you deep research. And then you can just put in your prompt and then it will actually search the web. The next tip, this one is also very, very good for a lot of different reasons, but that is image generating. So ChatGPT can help you create very, very nice thumbnails or images or anything else that you could possibly need. Branding, different like channel art. So if you're trying to create a profile picture on LinkedIn or a banner on LinkedIn or a banner on YouTube or Facebook or a new Instagram profile picture, it can do all of those things for you, and it's really, really effective. The other nice thing I like to do is I will go into ChatGPT and I'll go, this is what I'm looking for. Sometimes I'll use the voice mode and I'll say something like, chat, I'm working on a thumbnail for a YouTube video. I'll usually download 2 or 3 thumbnails that I like that are similar to what I'm trying to make a concept about, or sometimes they're completely different, but I'm like, use these formats as good ideas for the image that you're going to create for me. And then from there, I can also go and now give me a prompt to use like a hyper realistic looking image for this YouTube thumbnail. Here's the title. I want it to make sure that looking at the thumbnail and the title, they work together. And then it'll format like, okay, it'll give me its own prompt. And then all you have to do can like go into the prompt, say, hey, give me all of this stuff, copy and paste it out of the chat link here, go to images, and then just paste it in there like so, and it will generate an image based on what you're looking for. So you can definitely do like a ton of different things and just have like an automated system that you can kind of grow into something special. So these were just a few tips to get started. I have so many more saved up. So like I said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, but stop using ChatGPT like a search bar. You know, go in and use a little bit of depth and allow it to really help you learn and grow. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.